Shalam. Brothers united in Christ, back with more of this word. It's the Bible, Holy Scriptures. A beautiful day for the Sabbath. It's a beautiful day for the Scriptures. We come out here with Bible verses, trying to give you guys the good news, man, the good gospel. 40 minutes? All right. You give me this, we work in this Ecclesiasticus, the 15th chapter. We're going to try to close this chapter out. At the end of it, we're going to start at verse 16. We've been covering for the past 2 weeks free will. I've been talking about that in the scriptures, trying to explain the origins, where the free will came into play. It started with Moses, when the Lord gave the laws, commandments, and statutes to Moses to give to the children of Israel, and the free will offering. There was sin offering, there's burnt offerings, there's the meat offering, the drink offering, and there's a free will offering, where brothers and sisters take of their own, let's just say of their own herd, or maybe their own money, or something that's theirs, and they want to offer it willingly to the Most High Power, freely to the Most High Power. Also, I've been trying to explain how we're all now robots. He did give us a heart and eyes and mouth and ears to understand, and we make our own decisions. But the Most High also tell us that whatever choice you got, there's a reward at the end of that choice, or that path, that way. And I want to open up with that just a tad bit. You give me this in Ecclesiasticus, the 15th chapter. Read verse 16. I mean, you can start it from verse 14.
Ecclesiasticus 15 and 14. He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hand of his counsel, if thou wilt, to keep the commandments and to perform acceptable faithfulness. He hath set fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt.
There we go. He said fire and water before thee. That's it. You know, I mean, the Lord is real cut and dry. He's very direct. And the Most High want us to be that way as well. He don't want us wavering. You give me this James 1. James 1. Revelation 3:15. He said fire and water. It's either this or you're that. It's either this or you're that. Read this.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
Listen, man, the Lord I said, man, I know thy works, man. I know the stuff that you're doing in this earth. People think that they're going to live in this earth and, you know, and not be held accountable. You know, the Lord got eyes. He got ears. He see our goings. He see our stuff. And we're going to cover this in the chapter. Read it.
This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot.
Cold or hot. It's fire or water. He said fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand. Stretch forth thy hand. You got to make a choice. I saw this clip earlier this week. This was a Christian. I guess he was sitting down with some woman and they was talking, and the topic, well, I guess was about homosexuality. And we don't identify ourselves as being Christians, but the guy in the clip, I said, you cannot be gay and Christian. You can't do that. Now, he himself might have been an ex-gay, but he made a choice that he's not going to be that way no more. And then he quoted this Revelation 3:15. He said, you know, the Lord, I said, is cold or hot. You can't be lukewarm. You got to make a choice. People tend to try to bend or try to force their way into the Lord's grace, and it's not going to happen. He's cut and dry. Lord, I said, man, I want you hot or cold. I said fire or water before you. You got to pick a choice. You can't act like that you're going to do this and that and still I'm going to get some type of blessings or salvation that way. It's not going to happen. He said, man, I would that thou were either cold or hot. Choose fire or water. You got to make a choice. It's more respectable. You'll have more respect that way instead of you trying to act like something that you're not. Read that verse again and read down.
This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 15. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth.
I will spew thee out of my mouth. The Lord's going to make a decision. If you don't make the decision, he's going to make a decision for you. He's going to spew you out of his mouth. He's not going to deal with you. He's not going to deal with you. You can't pick and choose what you're going to follow. You know, some people, I had another conversation with an Edomite woman, I believe 2 weeks ago. And she believed that every Christian should vote. Because I told her I don't vote. She said that, you know, we being Christians should vote. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? That's being lukewarm. You can't say that you follow after the Most High, but you put in your trust in man to fix up your community, or maybe your country or yourselves and whatever it is. You can't put your faith and trust in man and the Most High. Some people put their faith in money and still want to try to think God, you know, they're lukewarm. And the Lord said that I'm not dealing with a double-minded person. You give me this Deuteronomy, the 11th chapter. Read this. James 1, and we're going to start this 5.
James 1 and 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
And toss, you know, he that wavereth, you wavering, just like the sea, you back and forth, you're in and out, you're lukewarm. You haven't made a choice. You haven't made a decision. Some people, you know, have a nice zeal. Just like Paul, I said, you were for the, you know what I mean, a year ago. Now you got to perform, man. Now, you can't pick and choose. You can't act like that you going to be with the Lord, and then next minute later you not. 1 second you talking for the Lord, and now you spitting against the Bible. It's a problem. He said that he that waver is like the waves of the sea, wavering back and forth. You back and forth, man. Watch, read it.
But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering, for he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord.
Listen, man, you're not going to receive anything. Not with that type of mindset. He said, man, I want you cold or you're hot. He said, I set fire or water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand. You got to make a choice. Read it.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
A double-minded man, a double-minded woman, a double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. And you can see people who's double-minded and they're staggering in their life. They're stumbling in their life because they double-minded. They don't know what they want in their life. They're indecisive. They don't know how to stay stagnant. They're like the wave of the sea. 1 second he's on and he's good, and now he's over here, you know, and everything. She's over there, and they're stumbling. They're unstable in all their ways, and everything that they do, they're unstable. Read it.
Let the brother of low degree.
Stop right there. Good. Go back to the line up line and read 16, 17.
Ecclesiasticus 15 and 16, he has set fire and water before thee. Stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him.
Listen, before man is life and death. That's the game that we all try to beat. Well, that is the game that we all playing. Life and death. That's what it is. As some people like to run away from it, you're not going to get away from life or death. It's either where I'm going to live or die. Before man is life or death. Well, we're going to read that verse again, but go to Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Read it.
Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given him.
And whether him liketh shall be given unto him. You know, life or death. So we have a choice. We could choose life or we could choose death. We could choose fire or water. If you want, this is your own will, man. This is all your choice. Pick and choose what you want to follow this day, life or death. You give me this Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, and we're gonna start that from verse 15. We're gonna read that down a little bit. Read this over here. 11 and 26.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your power, which I command you this day, and a curse if you will not obey the commandments of the Lord your power, but turn aside out of the way. which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known.
Which ye have not known. Moses had said to the children of Israel before he died, he said, when I set before you blessing and the curse. A blessing if thou was to obey the commandments. If you was obedient. If you was to do what the Lord say, a blessing. And a curse for the disobedient. And a curse, But now this curse is not talking about what you see in the movies where they got spooky, smoke and, and stuff and everything, some real strange things happening and everything. The curse specifically he's talking to the children of Israel is about, let's just say, poverty, a lot of fatherless households, women losing their husbands to the sword, pestilence and sickness, slavery. Your enemy, the heathen was gonna be above you. You're not gonna prosper in all your ways. This is all curses. A curse if we was to disobey the Most High power. But it's only two. There's only two things. There's no lukewarm business. He said, I set before you the blessing and the curse. You give me this Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter. Over here, you give me this Jeremiah 21:8. Read us.
Deuteronomy 30 and 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil.
Life and good, death and evil. This is what Moses had said to the children of Israel. See, I set before you life and good, man. Life and good, and death and evil. He showed you the way. You can't make up your own terms. You can't make up your own righteousness. Can't make up your own wickedness. The Lord stated exactly what's righteous and what's right according to him in the Bible. Along with, he stated what is sin and what's evil in the Bible. And you can't make it up. And he gave it to Moses to give it to us so that we could follow after the Most High power and truth and sincerity and live forevermore. Read this.
And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Because the land over there, Israel, that have some wars going on continually and everything, that's our land. And because we wasn't obedient, the Lord kicked us out of our land and everything. Now we're scattered to the four corners of the earth, underneath a curse. Underneath the curse, because we chose the curse. We chose death. Our forefathers did. Read this, read down.
But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear.
Listen, if thine heart. The heart in this text is talking about your mind. If your mind turn away, if you turn your mind away from the Most High power, you stop thinking about the Lord. Now you're thinking about money. Now you think about ways to get rich in America according to their standards. Now you just want honor and glory or whatever it is, or maybe some drugs, and stuff and everything. If your mind turn away from the Heavenly Father, read it.
But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it.
Listen, and this is what we did. Our minds was drawn away from the Heavenly Father, and we would not hear. We stopped listening. Now people today, they walk up and down the street. They see this preaching. They hear the words of this book and everything and don't want to listen. They don't want to hear, man. They turn away their mind away from the Heavenly Father because they got something more important to do. Something more important than your salvation. Money's more important than your salvation. That's how people think. And they worship other gods. I had the same conversation with the Edomite woman and everything. Me personally, I like to use terms that's in the Bible. People today, we may talk about holidays and stuff, and they'll like to associate it with paganism. And it's, true according to that, but biblically it's called idolatry. It's the worshiping of idols. You're serving other gods. You're serving other gods. It's idolatries. Holidays is idolatry. And the Lord, I said right here, specifically, if your mind turn away so that you don't hear and be drawn or persuaded, enticed to serve these other gods, to keep their religion, to serve their false idols and their gods and everything. It's going to be a problem for you. Watch, read it.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing.
Listen, life and death, blessed and a curse.
Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Listen, Moses, I said, choose life. I set before you life and death, good and evil and everything. Choose life so that you and your seed, your children, can live. This is what Moses said to the children of Israel, and it's still valid until today. People is dying according to this word, and people is living according to this word. The Most High, pull that real quick. Deuteronomy 32. Matter of fact, you're right there. Pull that real quick, and we're gonna come back. How you doing, brother? Go to 32:39. 32:39.
Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
Listen, this is what the Most High said. He said, I am he, man. I'm the Most High power. He said, I kill and I wound and I make alive. You know what I mean? I wound and I heal. This is the Most High doing. Life and death is ran by the Most High power. And he's telling you, choose life. Because if you don't choose life, you're going to choose death. You can't choose in between. There's no such thing as purgatory. It's either life or death, good and evil. Go back to where you was at and finish that chapter.
30. Deuteronomy 30 and 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him. For he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give to them.
Listen, for he is thy life, man. The Lord is our life. We live according to him. We're breathing his spirit. We're breathing his air. We're enjoying his creation. We're enjoying the food that he made out of the earth. This is his life. You know what I mean? This is our life, man. Pull this real quick. He said, choose life. 21 in verse 8. Give me this Jeremiah the 8th chapter. Read this.
Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8. And unto this people thou shalt say.
What people? Talking about the children of Israel. The children of Israel. You Negroes. So-called African Americans. So-called black people. The Hispanics. You got your Mexicans. Puerto Ricans. Central and South America. Talk to this people. This is specifically talking about the Southern Kingdom. How you doing, brother? Read this.
It says, Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8. And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death.
Listen, man, I set before you the way of life and the way of death. It's only those two options. It's only those two choices. Children got the same choice too. It's either life or death. Yeah, you know what I mean? Your daddy may be crooked. Jeremiah 8. Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8. Read it again.
Jeremiah chapter 21, verse 8. And unto this people thou shalt say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I set before you the way of life and the way of death.
Read it.
He that abideth in this city shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. But he that goeth out and falleth to the Chaldeans that besiege you, he shall live, and his life shall be unto him for a prey.
His life, hold that because we're going to come back. Give me Jeremiah the 39th chapter and the 45th chapter. His life is going to be given to him as a prey. You know, you see the animal kingdom sometime, and they got some, let's just say the cheetah or the lion and stuff, and then they devoured a certain animal, a deer or whatever it is. And then now they gather this animal to themselves. That's the prey. It's for himself. It is for him to take. Lord, I said that I'm giving, lives for a prey. 21 and verse 8. Now we're in Jeremiah, the 45th chapter. You're going to read that from verse, right here. Read it.
Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord the power of Israel unto thee.
Listen, the power of Israel. He's not the God of the Catholics. He's not the God of the Muslims or the Baptists or whatever it is. He's the God of the Israelites. He said the God of Israel, the power of Israel, the Most High power. And it's only him. He exists. Nobody else exists but him. Read it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, the power of Israel unto thee, O Baruch. Thou didst say, woe is me now, for the Lord hath added grief to my sorrow. I fainted in my sighing, and I find no rest.
Hey, listen, man, I find no rest because right now, man, the Lord, I gave the decree to Jeremiah and everything. 70 years, this people going to go in captivity. 70 years going to go in captivity to Babylon. 70 years. Watch, read it.
This is Jeremiah chapter 45, verse 4. Thus shalt thou say unto him, the Lord saith thus, behold, that which I have built will I break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up.
Listen, this is what it is. There's no guarantee position. When you start acting up, man, the Most High is going to remove you out. He will remove your candlestick. Read it.
Thus shalt thou say unto him, the Lord saith thus, behold, that which I have built I will break down, and that which I have planted I will pluck up, even this whole land. And seekest thou great things for thyself?
Listen, man, the Most High said that he's about to break the sword on his people and everything. You think that you're going to search out things for yourself? You think that you're going to save your possessions or save your life, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Save your money or this and that, whatever it is. You are going to seek things, you know, for yourself as if you're exempt. Watch. Read the next verse.
And seekest thou great things for thyself? Seek them not. For behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh.
All flesh got to get it. All flesh got to get it. And the Most High not playing. Watch, read it.
Behold, I will bring evil upon all flesh, saith the Lord. But thy life will I give unto thee for a prey in all places whither thou goest.
Whether thou goest, now we're in the place of America. Some of us is in South America. Some of us is in Central, in Europe, in Asia and everything. Our people are scattered to the four corners of the earth. And the Most High said, man, I'm giving you a chance to save your life. Man, I'm giving brothers and sisters their lives for a prey to keep for themselves. Go to chapter 39 real quick. Oh, read it. 15.
This is Jeremiah chapter 39, verse 15. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, saying, go and speak to Ebed-melech, the Ethiopian, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will bring my words upon the city for evil.
For evil. Some people like to just talk about good, mercy, and grace and everything, but what about the Most High's wrath as what the elder speak about all, period. The Most High got great wrath. Got great wrath. Read it.
Verse 16, go and speak unto Ebed-melech the Ethiopian, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will bring my words upon this city for evil, and not for good. And they shall be accomplished in that day before thee. But I will deliver thee in that day, saith the Lord, and thou shalt not be given into the hand of the men of whom thou art afraid.
Listen, this is the Most High power talking to an Ethiopian, a Gentile, because he helped Jeremiah. Helped him out while his own people was against Jeremiah. Jeremiah was put into prison by his own people, his own brothers and sisters. You know? David, I said, I'm paraphrasing, but, like a strike from the enemy in a sense or whatever it is, that's like expected. But the real pain is coming from your own people. The real pain, because this your own people. This your friend. This your brother. And you didn't expect it. And our people been like this since the beginning. Jeremiah was put in prison by his own brothers and sisters. Who is out trying to kill Christ? It wasn't the Romans, so to speak. It was his own brothers and sisters, the Jews. Read it. And then Ebed-melech, he had played for Jeremiah. And this is what the Most High told Jeremiah to go say to this brother. Watch, read it.
But I will deliver thee in that day, saith the Lord, and thou shalt not be given into the hand of the men of whom thou art afraid. For I will surely deliver thee, and thou shalt not fall by the sword, but thy life shall be for a prey unto thee, because thou hast put thy trust in me, saith the Lord.
Because you put your trust in me. He said your life is going to be given to you for a prey. Now, brothers and sisters, have a choice or have a chance to keep their life. He said, man, I set life and death before you, good and evil. You know, you got to choose. You can have your life for a prayer. A lot of people dying. A lot of people dying at all ages, 20 years old, 16 years old, 40, 50, young and everything. A lot of people dying, and you're bearing witness to this, you know? And the Lord said that I'm going to give you your life for a prey because you put your trust in me. Go back to you, who's that? Drop that. Read this over here.
8.
And read verse 1.
Jeremiah 8 and 1. At that time, saith the Lord, they shall bring out the bones of the kings of Judah, and the bones of his princes, and the bones of the priests, and the bones of the prophets, and the bones of the inhabitants of Jerusalem out of their graves. And they shall spread them before the sun and the moon, and all the hosts of heaven whom they have loved, and whom they have served, and after whom they have walked, and whom they have sought, and whom they have worshipped, they shall not be gathered, nor be buried. They shall be for dung upon the face of the earth.
The Most High told Jeremiah that all the bones of your people and everything, Babylon gonna come to your land and gonna take out all the dead bones and everything. All the bones of the brothers and sisters that worship the sun, the moon and the stars and everything. Back then, man, they, had feast and they celebrated the sun, the moon and the stars and everything. Straight idolatry. They worship the creation more than the creator. And that's a problem because brothers and sisters still following this trend today. They have this thing called horoscopes or zodiac signs. That's all of the worshiping of the sun, moons, and stars. You base your decisions, your life on zodiac signs. You won't take a relationship or a marriage, or you move live your life, your everyday affairs according to the moon, sun, and stars, because what your zodiac sign says, and everything. This is what people identify past. They worship the sun, moon, and stars, and everything. That's a problem. Moses warned us about it. He said, man, if your heart be turned away and be drawn to serve these other guys, these idols, and worship, there's going to be a problem. You're going to soon perish out of the land, and now we in America today. Read it. Who got 8?
And Jeremiah 8:3. And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family.
He said, death shall be chosen. Yeah, Lord said fire and water, life and death. He said life and death before you. But he said that people going to choose death by the residue of this family. People choosing death today, man, they not choosing this. They ain't choosing the Sabbath. They ain't choosing salvation in Christ and righteousness. They choosing the bottle. They choosing drugs. They choosing a woman over the Most High power. They choosing their daddy over the Most High power. They cars over the Most High power. They choosing death. They choosing religion and idols over the Most High power. Read that again. Read it again. And people dying according to it. All these people popping pills. What's his name? Homie Quan or whatever. Oh, yeah. Dying. He chose the pills or whatever, and he died according to it. Watch. Read it.
And death shall be chosen rather than life by all the residue of them that remain of this evil family, which remain in all the places whither I have driven them, saith the Lord of hosts.
This is a place, America is a place where he driven the nation of Israel to. South America, Central, Europe, Asia, and everything. He driven us for our abominations, for our wickedness and everything. For our wickedness. And he said, the people is choosing death. People don't want to live according to the Most High power. They rather choose, listen, he said, I set life and death before you. Moses said, choose life, but people choosing death. Children choosing death. People getting involved at a young age in a gang. Now they call themselves Bloods, 15 years old, 16 years old. They gang banging on the street. Man, I'm from the Ville. I'm from the Trey. I'm from the 2-5. Stuff and everything. They choosing death. A lot of our youth are, listen, hey, a lot of our young men is dying in these streets. They chose death. They choosing death. Drop that and go back to the line upon line. Go to 2nd Ezra 7 and verse 56 and read verse 17 again.
Ecclesiasticus 15 and 17. Before man is life and death, and whether him like it shall be given him.
Listen, and whether him like it shall be given on him. So yes, you got a choice. People talk about free will. God gave me free will. Well, in your free will, you choose death. You choose wickedly. You chose to do the evil stuff. And now you try to force yourself into this kingdom. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna get it no other way. He said choose. You gotta choose fire or water. Choose life and death. People making choices in his life. Read this over here. 756.
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 56. For whilst we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death.
After death. He said, while we lived and committed iniquity, sin, wickedness, evil, we didn't consider. There was no consideration that while we lived that we're going to pay for this after we die. Everybody talk about the afterlife and what's going on. Yeah, out of darkness. Dang. Out of darkness. Where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's what's after death. And brothers and sisters got to wait, got to do their bit until judgment day. That's what's happening after death. People don't believe it, but they dying according to this word. Watch, read it.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle, which man that is born upon earth shall fight.
This is the condition of the battle. Every brother and sister gotta fight this. Read it.
That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said.
Listen, overcome of wickedness, of sin. Read it.
That if he shall overcome, that if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said. But if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say.
And you can only get the victory through Christ. Read it.
For this is the life whereof Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live.
Choose thee life. You got to make a choice. This is what Moses was talking about. People, you know what I mean, fighting this battle and losing the war. Everybody talking about war over there in Israel and everything. What about the war within yourself, the flesh and the spirit? People is losing that battle and everything. But this is the life that Moses was talking about. Choose thee life so that thou mayest live. So that you can live and never die. Watch, read it.
This is verse 60. Nevertheless, they believe not him, nor yet the prophets after him, no, nor me, which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction, as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation.
But you got to be persuaded, huh? You got to be persuaded. Pull this Proverbs 15 and 3. Read down. 18 and 19.
Ecclesiasticus 15 and 18. For the wisdom of the Lord is great, and he is mighty in power, and beholdeth all things.
That's what it is. The Most High beholdeth all things. There's not one aspect of your life that the Most High is not watching you. But some people just pay attention to man. They're not considering that the Lord got everything that you're doing and saying in a record, in a book. Read it.
And his eyes are upon them that fear him, and he knoweth every work of man.
Listen, you know, he know every work of man. You give me the 23rd chapter, the same book, and you're going to start that from verse 18. Pull this real quick, Proverbs 15 and 3. Lord, I said that he behold all things, all the works of men. Read it.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3.
Everybody talk about free will, stuff and everything, and then do the most wicked thing in his eyes. Watch, read it.
Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place,
Every place.
beholding the evil and the good.
He beholding the evil and the good. He see where you at. Brothers and sisters, it's not hidden from the Most High power. He said that he beholding the good and the evil. All the good stuff that you're doing in your life, he's beholding that. And all the evil stuff that you're doing in your life, he's beholding that. The Most High got eyes everywhere. You just think that you're slick. You just think that the Most High is stupid. You think that he don't see what you're doing. His eyes beholding everywhere. When you're in school, when you're at the house, when you're walking on this green right now and everything, he see you in a porta potty. He see you in a porta potty shooting dope. He's seeing all the evil stuff that you're doing in this earth. Watch, read this.
This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3.
Crackhead woman that said to me right here, was just trying to talk junk. She said SMD. I said, you don't got one. But the problem is, she a fiend. The Most High see that. He see everything that you're doing and I'm saying. Read it again.
This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 3. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good.
Listen, the evil and the good. You give me this Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter, and I want Psalms 33. Read this.
Ecclesiastes.
18.
Ecclesiasticus 23 and 18. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me?
Listen, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his mind, who seeth me? Who seeth me? Read it.
I am compassed about with darkness.
This is the wicked man. This is the man that like to mess with other men, women. They have this thing trending about Offset and Cardi B and stuff and everything. They say that Cardi B so-called cheated on Offset, had an affair with an NFL player or somebody who's famous and everything while she was 8 months pregnant. So now they guessing his digs from the Bills and stuff and from Houston and stuff and everything, and she's just, she's chuckling. I'm thinking it's cute because people speculate and everything. That's wickedness. A man that breaketh wedlock saith thus in his mind, who can see me? Brothers, that like to stroke up other men's woman and everything, you guys are adulterers. There's a judgment for that too. Watch, read it. Pass the dial. Taking other men's wives. White woman at that, read it.
A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness, the walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins.
And then you think the Most High gonna forget? Read it.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men.
Such a man only fear the eyes of men. Read it.
And knoweth not the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts.
Listen, brothers and sisters, brothers think they slick in the dark. Brothers, listen, man. He said, I'm sorry. Hold that. Give me Job 33 real quick. Give me Job 33. Because the Lord has said that his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Drop that. Yep. Go to Job 33. He said his eyes is 10 times brighter than the sun. He's beholding all the ways of men. He see you. Though that you say that I'm in the dark, the walls could about me, man, I'm in a secret place with another man's woman. That's a problem. The Lord has said that his eyes is 10 times brighter. Pull this real quick. 33. Right here. Verse 21 and 22.
Job 34 and 21. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves.
There's no darkness or shadow of death. Some brothers and sisters, man, they, find a woman and they go to the movie theaters. And they in the dark. And they doing things in the dark and stuff and everything. Brothers and sisters, wait till nighttime. Listen, man, they see you in the strip club. Your ways is before the Most High power. Read that again.
Job 34 and 21. For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings. There is no darkness, nor shadow of death, where the workers of iniquity may hide themselves.
Listen, we're the workers of iniquity. Brothers and sisters who like to sin. He see you everywhere you go. He see you going in a porta potty. He see you about to get doped up. He see you. And you think that you're hidden. Read this over here. Psalm 33. Gotta close it out with that. 33 verse 13 and verse 19.
Psalm chapter 33, verse 13. The Lord looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all the sons of men. From the place of his habitation, he looked upon all the inhabitants of the earth. This is verse 18. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine.
Why? Because they chose life. They're not in the earth faking it. They're not putting on vainglory and everything. The Most High said that his eyes is on the righteous because he trusted them. And their life is going to be given unto them for a prey because they chose life. So our message, choose life and not death. And with that, brothers united in Christ, Shalom.